GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, Dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered.
And that's MVS and Justin Watson.
With some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man JRich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up. We're Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude,
he? How good is Get it? GMGP. It is Wednesday, July 16, 2025. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with myself and my brother from another mother, Jordan Richards. We appreciate each and every eye, each and every ear in the building that decided to wake up with us today. And I'm going to start highlighting some of the favorite comments that I see before the show actually starts that is happening in the stream. And we got a first-time viewer here, JRich. IDP Doctor, GMGM. Goddamn, IDP Doctor. You got to get the P in there. GMGP, baby. First time here. Appreciate you being in the building. We had some other ones right here, JRich. I don't know if you gave out this advice on Monday, but Johnny said considering sending back Monty for Judkins. All right, Monty for Judkins. Hunter Joe Green, first time in a long time catching a live. GMGP, y'all. Appreciate you, Hunter. We got one here from Ricky. Ricky said, mute that damn computer. The alarm sound haunts him. The rooster crowing in the background scares the hell out of Ricky. Appreciate you being in the building. And we got Andre from Germany saying GAGP. So I'm assuming it's the afternoon in Germany, JRich. Afternoon out there. Appreciate you, Andre, for tapping into the show. And then Pistol Pete said he is on board with Ray's take on Najee Harris. He's about to show up to camp looking like Two-Face. I didn't say that. I did not say that, Pistol Pete. Don't you put them words in my mouth this morning. We're going to have a good show. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot to get through. We've got players signing for bags. We know how much money Jauan Jennings wants. We've got second-round picks that we've got to talk about. But, Jay, I think where we got to start today is where we ended off the Monday show talking about Quinshon Judkins. And right after the show at about 10:40, I put an update on the pinned comments under the video because there was some news, man. Let's get you on the screen, Jay. How you doing, baby? Tom Pelissero, right, JRich? Tom Pelissero, right after our show on Monday. Browns ranking running back Quinshon Judkins. Here's the arrest report for RB Quinshon Judkins, whose accuser told police he punched her with a closed fist in the chin/lip area and later struck her in the left arm and thigh while they were in the car leaving the airport on July 7th. Jay, when we did our show at 8 in the morning, we did not have this information, right? No close. It was just, there was domestic violence. It was delayed. It was 5 days later, yada, yada, yada. Right after we got done with the show, boom, closed fist, hit her in the chin and lip area. You read the report. She was in the front seat, got out the car, moved to the back seat of the vehicle. Then he turns around and I'm assuming is whapping back there, right? Hits her in the leg, the thigh. If she's in the back seat, he's got to turn around somehow. So Now that more information has surfaced, JRich, and this is on the heels of also, I believe, Mary Kay Cabot from Cleveland, and I put this in our show notes, Jay. Here's what was said. The Browns are in no rush to sign Quinshon Judkins to his rookie contract or get him to camp on time as they continue to gather information on his legal matter. Furthermore, they've stressed to Judkins and his agent, Todd France, that the running back must make his domestic incident the high priority over football. Jay, good morning to you. Welcome, man. We wanted to start with this because this is what we ended with, right? Hey, but from what we heard, he's going to play sooner rather than later. If you want to take the bet, this comes out, closed fist, hit her in the face, hit her in the arm and the thigh, police report, Brown saying get this stuff figured out. How do you feel about him today versus where we talked about him on Monday?
I mean, seems like he's going to get suspended, right?
Yes.
And I think the issue is when you pair that with the Mary Kay Cabot report, he's probably not going to be at camp at all, right? Let's be honest. Is this legal matter going to be wrapped up in the next,
doubt it,
basically a month and a half at most for the season to start? Probably not. So if they're prioritizing the legal process, which especially for some of these NFL athletes, we see it get dragged out over years. Rashee Rice still hasn't had his cases finally heard over the stuff he did over a year and a half ago, it feels like now. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's going to play anytime soon. And if he does get that resolved, what is his contract, right? Because he's probably not getting that second round contract that he was going to get. And then even with that, by the time all that is finally over, he's probably looking at a 6-game suspension on top of that. So it's not looking good for Judkins. And it's not looking like he's going to be available anytime soon. And based off all these reports, you know, he's on bond right now. He's got a non-contact thing in his bond. He's only $2,500, so it'll be okay in terms of the money. But it's like, you know, she didn't want to report the incident because of obviously his status and being an NFL athlete, and was encouraged apparently by friends and family to report the incident. That's why it was reported late. So I think that reasoning is more than fair, especially when you talk about why it was delayed and all that kind of stuff. But I don't want to say he's done, Ray, but it feels like we're going through Kareem Hunt once again. Like, it just feels like we're going back into what happened with Kareem Hunt, where he was so good. It didn't matter how good he was. The Chiefs tried to keep him. He obviously lied to the front office, to the franchise, and was cut and let go, and basically never had a substantial role in the NFL following that. I don't want to say it's that bad for Judkins for sure, but it certainly seems like it's trending that direction, unfortunately for him. And with the information from Mary Kay Cabot, the police report, and the fact that they are prioritizing the legal process prior to getting him in camp and in the building, tells me that there's very little hope for him playing anytime soon. And at that point, what is he worth to you?
Mary Kay Cabot, this is from Johnny in the chat, insinuating that she thinks he gets more than 6 games. And then that's just what Johnny said. Maybe. I saw another comment from Ricky. He said, praying video doesn't surface. So, airport car ride home. I'm just going to assume. We could after the show there is a video, but probably no video. But you know what there is? I guarantee 100% without a shadow of a doubt. You know what does exist is if when the cops showed up, police showed up on July the 12th and arrested Quinshon Judkins for domestic battery, domestic violence. They took pictures of that young woman. Like, they guarantee. They took pictures of her face, and this was 5 days after the incident took place on July 7th. So, at some point, those images may surface, Jay, and depending on how they look, and what people will say is, wow, her face looked like that after 5 days. What did it look like the day it happened? The day after it happened? The day after that? I think the public, if those images hit the public, that will even more so damn Quinshon Judkins' contract situation, getting on the field playing. I absolutely think it's commissioner's exempt list. Like, he's gonna hit that. Oh, I mean, he's going. If he's even eligible for
that, right?
He's getting suspended. We kind of talked about that on Monday. We're thinking 3 games, 4 games. He's getting suspended, no doubt about it. You know, I saw some comments. Jimbo had some strong words about him. Morally, you put hands on somebody, you put hands on a woman. You could read the comments yourself. Don't disagree with that. Again, what do you want to do with him now? Joe said, who has Judkins here, and what are you doing now? What are you doing now with him? You drafted him in your rookie. Now we're going to separate the legal stuff and the criminal allegations against Quinshon Judkins from the game that people play. Drafting him to plug him in their lineup and score points. You still just willing to wait this thing out? You still just willing to wait it out? Or are you taking some of the offers that we've seen floated out there in fantasy football where they're moving him for, I'm just giving some examples. I've seen him for Chuba Hubbard straight up. I've seen him for Cam Scatterbo in like a 28-second. I've seen him for, like, he's not David Montgomery in a 27-second. And a lot of people are like, no, I'd rather just have Montgomery. I don't want to move the rookie stud running back for a David Montgomery type. How are you personally willing to let this situation play out, or just be like, I'm done with it? I'll trade him. I'll get what I can get, and I'm done.
I mean, it depends on what that price tag is, right? Like, I'm assuming it's got to be in the realm of a second-round pick, maybe even less than that. It feels like we haven't hit rock bottom for his value yet to where you can't trade him for anything. You probably still could trade him for something. And I think that's where it's tough. Like, could you get a Dave Montgomery? Like, you should probably take that deal. Can you get a James Conner? You should probably take that deal. Travis Etienne is a player I'd be more than willing to take a shot on if he was available for a Quinshon Judkins. But it feels like right now, depending on your league and how tapped in they are, that's a difficult thing to come by. And so for me, I would probably honestly hold. Like, I'm not going to trade Judkins for a third. I don't care if he's suspended for 2 seasons. He's, 21 years old right now? Maybe he's 22 years old.
What about this one? Phil said Judkins for Etienne in a late first.
I mean, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Running back.
Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat, right? But again, it depends on how tapped in your league is. If you can make a move like that, if you can move him for a veteran that's worth, roughly a second round, like I mentioned, the James Conners, the Dave Montgomerys, Etienne, if for some reason people value him as a second right now, which they might, depending on where he's at. But if it's less than that, I would probably just hold. And if he ends up like Darius Geis, he ends up like Darius Geis. But
that's a lot of people are using the name Darius Geis. A lot of people are invoking. And Rubio, shout out to Rubio in the chat, longtime subscriber of the channel, and JR Enterprise also said, and I don't know if this was reported or local news or they just saw, she also took pictures herself as well. So the authorities absolutely took pictures. She did too.
And I think the bad part, well, not the bad part, but the good thing for her and for what I think, to your point about whether or not the pictures come out to the public is almost irrelevant, because the NFL is seeing those pictures. The police are seeing those pictures. Correct. And the Browns are seeing those pictures, right?
Correct.
Everyone's going to see them that needs to see them to make the right decisions. So he will get whatever ultimately comes for him. And it's good the pictures were taken and all of that, so that he does actually receive the proper punishment based off of what happened and the results of the incident. But yeah, I mean, in terms of what you're doing for fantasy, I think if you can't get around a second value, I'm probably just going to hold and see what happens. Because even if he goes to 0, like, I just don't think I would care. I think I'd be willing to just wait to see what happens. Do you feel any differently? Like, would you move him for a 3rd round pick? Do you think that's even worth it, knowing that his value is probably headed towards almost 0?
Listen, we're talking about Dynasty fantasy football, right? And Marcus said, Dynasty, you're probably holding. Redraft, seasonal leagues, if your league is fluid enough, some redraft leagues, you draft your team, that's your damn team, right? But if your league has some trading, I think that's where you try to figure out, hey, I need players to get me to week 14, 15, 16, 17, and he's probably not going to be around early enough to make that significant of an impact. Let's say it's a 6-game suspension. That means 6 games, Dylan Samson and Jerome Ford, and I don't know who the 3rd running back is. They're the ones taking all the opportunity. Now, right? They're the ones getting involved in the offense. It absolutely, it impacts Samson 100%. But this was, Jay, I'm not just saying this because of now. The entire time, I'm like, they drafted Samson a few rounds after Judkins, right? To me, this was always going to be some sort of split role opportunity, a situation where they didn't just draft Samson in round 4 to ride the bench. Now, one layer of this Judkins stuff that I want to discuss, and we talked about it in our Discord. I was asked, were there any red flags about Quinshon Judkins throughout the draft process? Were people talking about, physical aggression stuff, issues with women in the past? And my answer was, I didn't hear anything about that. Not a thing, right? The thing that we heard about Judkins, the big question mark, long speed, can he catch the ball? But I didn't hear any red flags about stuff like this. Now, take it with the biggest grain of salt that there is. In our Discord, there were some people posting Reddit comments from 18 months ago, right? A year ago, Jay, saying, we heard the real reason Quinshon left Ole Miss was because of this, because of that, was aggressive. Go do your own kind of research, undercover conspiracy theory things. But what was brought up in the chat was, did the Browns potentially know something, hence the reason they took another running back so high? Or did they just see he's the best player on the board, we're just going to add Samson, right? Or did they know? We don't know. Let's get some protection here for, I don't know. I didn't hear anything about Judkins' character. I didn't hear anything about him being in trouble with any authority at any point in the draft process. So I'm not going to go that far as to say that's why they drafted Samson in round 4, but they did. And they've got Jerome Ford there who's been in the building. I honestly don't think Cleveland misses a beat, dude. I really don't. I don't think unfortunately for Quinshon, you know what he plays? The most replaceable position in football, man. Like, unfortunately
nobody really
for
cares
him,
about the running back unless you're
he's not the
Saquon Barkley or
quarterback.
Derrick Henry.
He's not an outside edge rushing specialist. He's not a lockdown premier cornerback. He's not the quarterback. He is the most replaceable position that you can find in football, and it is a running back. So what will Cleveland do? Continue to game plan around Jerome Ford and Dylan Samson and whomever else is there until he is cleared and or on the field.
Yeah, it's not like this team was going anywhere anyways. Once they made that trade to send Travis Hunter to Jacksonville, you knew they were playing for the draft this year to hopefully get a quarterback. Like, this was always kind of in the cards for them. It's just now everyone's wondering, well, who's going to be the guy? And is it Dylan Samson? And Ray, let's just throw a name out there that I think probably could use a starting running back job that was maybe a Cleveland running back in the past. Why wouldn't they trade for Nick Chubb? Why wouldn't they bring Nick Chubb back to run that backfield once again if they believe they need a third running back? Because while, yes, Houston brought him in probably to have insurance in case anything happened with Joe Mixon, why wouldn't the Browns say, let's bring back a player that the organization loves, that the fan base loves, that we need a starting running back if it's not Jerome Ford? Like, why not bring back a Nick Chubb? And I don't know who else is available from running back position, but yeah, they need to bring in a third running back, and if it's not Samson or Ford, there could be another guy that has potential opportunity there.
Yeah, we got a bozo in the chat too. Fritz, this dude right now, he wants some attention, so let's give him some. Jay, he has continued to talk about me not going to the wrestling event this past weekend in Dallas. Said I'm not a real fan. Well, you know what, Fritz?
Really?
I got kids. We had baseball tournament. I'm not going to miss my damn son's baseball tournament to go to AWE at Globe Life Field in Dallas, Texas. It's not happening. But I'll be at SmackDown this Friday if you want to catch me there. Section 122, if you want to catch me there in San Antonio. But I'm with you, Jay. I don't think the Browns miss a beat. I absolutely do not think they miss a beat without Quinshon Judkins. And he's got a lot that he's got to get through. He's got a lot that he has to get through, and a lot of people are going to be out on him. They're just going to be like, I don't want to deal with this. I've played fantasy football enough. I've gone through these situations. I'll buy back in when he's cleared and on the field and playing. I don't want anything to do with him now.
Man, people do not like Nick Chubb. I've never seen such a visceral reaction to a player of Nick Chubb's caliber, Ray.
What do you mean?
Maybe the people are pissed that I even threw the name Nick Chubb out there. He's cooked. Why wouldn't they've already paid him? But I'm just throwing names out there, man. It's not like running backs grow on trees. Unless you want to sign Zeke Elliott, Ray. Is Zeke still available? Is Zeke doing things these days?
Zeke said he's going to retire, man. Zeke said he's out. Zeke said he's out. All right, Jay. Quinshon Judkins. And let's go to what I believe. And I talked about it on Monday. We talked about it a little pre-show, but I think it's the biggest story in the NFL right now. Especially for fantasy football when you're talking about some of these picks and these players and how it impacts or may impact decisions that we make, draft moves that we make, players that we want, players that we don't want. Yeah, these second rounders have banded together. These second round rookie picks, they said, we ain't showing up, baby. We're not showing up until we get our deal. Tate Ratledge, supposed to be a key cog of the Detroit Lions offensive line, did not report to the Lions rookie minicamp. To the Lions rookie training camp. Did not report. Seattle Seahawks, second round pick safety, Nick Eamon-Warry and Elijah Arroyo also did not report to their rookie training camp dates. Today, JRich, we've got RJ Harvey amongst other second round picks who are scheduled to report to training camp. Not OTAs, not voluntary workouts, not passing sessions at the QB's vacation home. This is get prep for the NFL season, and they're not going to be there because they want fully guaranteed deals a la Carson Schlesinger and Jaden Higgins, the 33rd and 34th pick in the NFL draft. Okay, we got TreVeyon Henderson coming up. Trey Harris, he's not in camp. The rookies reported for them on Saturday. Trey Harris is behind the 8 ball already. QJ and the veterans get there on Friday. Why isn't this being talked about more, Jay? Why is this not being reported more? That these second round, because there are 30 of 32 second round picks unsigned, and then you got 2 first round picks that are unsigned. Shamar Stewart, Jahdae Barron. That's it. Everybody else that was drafted in 2025, they are under contract. Second round, Jahdae Barron and Shamar Stewart. I just think a lot of people figured and assumed by the time we got to training camp, all this shit would be taken care of. Like, when are they not signed? But why are we even talking about? Yeah, of course, rookies are going to show up and report to rookie training camp. Not them second round picks, JRich. Talk about it.
I don't know, man. I think it's kind of...
Talk about you. Yeah.
I think this is I'm not going to say an overblown story. It's a big NFL story, right? It is a big NFL story. And unfortunately, it seems like the NFLPA has their hands all over this, right? If on an individual
100%.
basis, Ray, if it was you and I, we understand the importance of training camp. The players understand the importance of training camp. The coaches understand the importance of training camp. The agents understand the importance of training camp. So why aren't these guys signed? Like, why aren't these guys signed to contracts? Because they need to be in the building. And I think the weird thing is, Ray, is like, I understand they're not reporting, but like, y'all went to minicamp. You went to rookie
Jahdae
minicamp.
signed this morning, 10 hours ago,
Okay.
JRich. Jahdae is in.
Jahdae signed. Was
Jahdae
it a fully
signed.
guaranteed deal, though?
I mean, it's a first round pick. It's all fully guaranteed.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, Jahdae signed.
Jahdae signed.
It was him and Shamar were the only 2 lone first rounders.
Oh, yeah,
that hadn't signed.
Shamar. Yeah, well,
Shamar and Jahdae.
We know Shamar ain't signing, so that's not going to change.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, to me, Ray, do you think they should have shown up to camp? I think that's the first question.
They don't have a contract. No.
Okay, but why are they at rookie minicamp? Why are they at minicamp to then not show up to training camp? Because it's the same thing. Yeah, it's non-contact. I understand all that. Like, I get that side of it. But if you need to be in the building to get the reps, to understand your offense or defense,
because if they go to training camp, Jay, and they get hurt day one, they get no money. Like, and I get you could say that for mini camp and voluntary OTAs.
To me, it's the same.
To them, it's not.
It is the same.
Because in training camp, it's a much more rigor. Like, that is when your job starts, right? When all the other stuff, like the voluntary OTA, which you need to be there, right? Voluntary OTAs, all that stuff.
Mandatory minicamp, all that stuff.
Training camp, once that starts, your job, you are on the clock, like for real. Like, job starts. You
can hold in, right?
You're locked in from July to January. You are at work.
Yeah, you can hold in, right? But like, we're seeing I don't even think they are. Like, Joe's saying they're holding in. I don't think they're holding in. I think they're straight up not even there.
They didn't show up.
Yeah, and that's why it's like that is sending a message.
They're not there in the meeting. They didn't show up. Like, Trey Ayers is not there.
And that's what's so concerning from a like, well, what are we doing here? What agenda is the NFLPA pushing? Because in my opinion, it's a losing battle and they're not going to win that fight. I said on Monday, I don't believe this impacts the organizations as much as the NFLPA really thinks it does. Unless, of course, you're the Detroit Lions. Because they need Tate Ratledge in the bill. If I was the Detroit Lions, I would have sent Tate Ratledge a fully guaranteed contract months ago.
That's what people, the Lions beat reporters are saying, why not just do that? Everybody. So what's going on? All the beat reporters are like, if you know what 33 and 34 are, the latter step down scalable pay is already, the precedent is set. Yeah. Why are they not just getting it done?
Well, I think it's just because it's like we talked about Monday as well. It's the sliding scale. If you give the second round picks fully guaranteed contracts, then the third round picks are going to get fully guaranteed contracts. And what do you know? Teams are going to have to fork out however many $1 million every season to fully guarantee all draft picks, right? But I still think, like, on a team-by-team basis, why are the teams not making the decisions to sign the players they actually need, right? There's certain teams, like Mike Green is a perfect example. Didn't report yesterday. The Ravens don't need Mike Green. Would they like Mike Green? Sure. He would add to their pass rush. I'm not going to
say that they would like. I think at the end of each year,
right, they have the best team in the NFL. They don't need Mike Green, but he would be nice to have. They needed Malachi Starks to free up Kyle Hamilton, but they don't need Mike Green. If he never signs, he never signs.
But here's the thing, Jay. It's not about the Ravens needing Mike Green. It's the fact that these were second-round picks. The teams need him. All right? At the end of the way that the roster is constructed, they were drafted to fill a need. So they do need him. I'm not saying that he's the critical piece of the defense, right? I'm not saying he's Roquan Smith. He's leading the defense. But they do need him in camp. The Denver Broncos absolutely need RJ Harvey.
They do need RJ Harvey.
They need them there. And I'm seeing a lot of comments. You can't send a message during the voluntary OTAs. You're not going to send a message not showing up to minicamp. There is absolutely some band happening where the agents and or NFLPA have told these guys in the second round, don't show up. Now, my question is, who blinks first? Will one of the players... Did Jonas Sevenier show up yesterday? Let me see if Jonas Sevenier came.
I don't think the owners are going to blink because they don't. Because the thing is that this hurts the players so much more than it hurts the owners. The owners are bargaining over $1 million, essentially, maybe $1.5 million for some of the higher drafted players. It's not that much money, but they don't want the precedent set because it will probably cost them maybe another $3 to $4 million in the rest of the draft when ultimately all draft picks are guaranteed. So they're bargaining over $3 or $4 million versus the players who are bargaining over early playing time and being ready for camp. And even to some extent, like,
he's not
I'm assuming
there.
These guys can stay in shape, but like there's a difference between being in shape and being in NFL shape and game shape and being ready to actually play in real games. And it's going to hurt their progress throughout the beginning stages of their career. So honestly, for me, like I think they're just fighting a losing battle, and I don't know why they're doing. Well, I guess I do know why.
I just checked too. Miami yesterday, Jonas Sevenier, second-round pick. The Miami Dolphins are counting on him
too
to be a starting offensive lineman to protect Tua. 10 minutes ago, let me explain why Jonas Sevenier is not reporting to training camp yet. So he didn't show up either. He didn't show. And right now, I'm not pressing the full-fledged panic button. Right, I'm not pressing the red button yet. But the alert is up. Like, they need to be think about it this way, man. Again, Matt Harmon said it the other day. I don't want my rookie receivers missing any offseason program, let alone training camp. Trey Harris is behind the 8 ball. Rookies got in on Saturday, and you know what they were able to do? They got fitted for all their equipment. They got their key card. They got their notebook. They got acclimated, their acclimation period, right? They've been doing that for the past 4 or 5 days. You know who hadn't been there to take part in that? Trey Harris. So it might be small incremental, but he's behind the 8 ball. And during training camp, every rep, every day, that stuff matters. He needs, and I'm using Trey Harris because they reported first, and their veterans also report first. I think the veterans report for the Chargers today or tomorrow.
They start today, and first practice for the Chargers is tomorrow. Like, first real practice. We're going to get the clips. You're going to see Lamar Hampton running the ball.
How does this shit not matter? Especially for us, when we're depending on TreVeyon Henderson. Do you want to go through the list of second-round rookies who are impactful for fantasy football, JRich?
Let's do it, man.
Let's pull it up. Let's pull up a list. You want me to pull it up? I'm pulling it up. I'll pull it up, Jay. I'll pull it up.
All right,
I'll pull it up. Let's go through all the second-round picks who may or may not be available for your fantasy football rosters early this season if they decide not to come to camp. Carson Schlesinger will be there. Draft Jaden Higgins with full confidence because his fully guaranteed deal was locked in May. So give me all that Jaden Higgins. Quinshon Judkins.
He ain't going to be there, let me tell you.
He ain't going to be there, all right? TreVeyon Henderson, Luther Burden, Tyler Shuck, Mason Taylor, Terrence Ferguson, Elijah Arroyo, Trey Harris, Jack Besh, RJ Harvey. And then you got a bunch of offensive linemen in there. So just skill position-wise, them the cats that ain't there. Those are or at least projected to not show up when their rookie training camp time is to show. This is you think Tyler Shuck, if he, and
I think Tyler Shuck will be there.
Well, Tyler Shuck wants fully get. I'm the quarterback here. Like, I want my shit full.
But you know what else Tyler Shuck probably wants? To start, right? Like, I think he probably wants, as much as he wants that extra, million guaranteed,
let me tell you,
he probably also wants to be the starting quarterback for the Saints.
Tyler Shuck ain't negotiating. His agent doing all that. And his agent is not settling.
Right? If I'm Tyler Shuck,
think about this from an agency standpoint, Jay. Would you want to be the firm representing athletes that people go to say, that's the firm that can't get their rookie second rounders guaranteed contracts? Or would you want to be like, I want to be represented by whoever got them guaranteed deals for the second rounders? I want Carson Schwarzenegger's agent. I want Jaden Higgins' agent. I don't want the agent that, we caved in. I couldn't get, sorry, all the other second round picks got fully guaranteed deals. We couldn't get that done for you. There are so many different dynamics at play to this situation. I think there's a reason why this isn't a bigger story as well. I don't think the owners want to do it. I do not think they want to. The Browns don't give a shit. They gave Deshaun Watson biggest contract we've ever seen on the heels of all kinds of legal issues. The Texans don't give a damn. They'll trade up and take two players in the top 3 in an NFL draft. They don't give a damn. All these other, they don't want to do it, man. They don't want to do it, Jay.
Yeah, but it goes both ways, right? Like it's funny you say, I'm the agency that gets the guaranteed contracts, and I would happily go to the same player and say, I'm the guy that will actually get you in training camp and available with all of the money that you expect to have. Like, if you want to argue over $900,000, I'll just lower my commission and happily take you on as a client and get you signed and ready to go. But it's crazy to me that, like, all these agencies, the NFLPA, they expect these organizations to act the same. We all know they do not act the same. They got different budgets, different ownership groups, different everything, and they operate completely differently. So to have a widespread condition like this, like all these guys should get signed, no, and especially in the case of certain players, right? Let's use Judkins as an example. Maybe he is a knucklehead. Maybe the Browns knew that. Right? And you don't want to guarantee that guy a contract, right? You want stipulations in the contract to say that you can get out of things like this, right? That's why he wasn't a first rounder, because maybe there was situations where something like this could happen. This can happen all the time. We see players follow the first round, follow the second round, third round because they have character concerns. Jermaine Burton is a perfect example from last season, right? So, like, there's a reason why these contracts aren't guaranteed. Like, there's a reason why. And I don't think they're going to be. I think the players are going to have to cave, and it's just a matter of when, in my opinion.
Shout out to Slayer Stacker, man. Slayer Stacker always in the building. He said this second round holdouts make Deontay Thornton a big-time ad. And they've been telling you he's been running with the ones. I mean,
he's been running with the ones.
Listen, I think Scribbles nailed it right here. The worst part about this, depending on how long it drags out, rookies can start the year real slow. None of us are saying that Tate Ratledge is going to bust out because he's not there the first week. Trey Harris is going to flame out. But it's managing your expectations for the production that they may give you to start the season. If they're not in training camp, they are not a part of the week 1 game plan, right? That doesn't mean Trey Harris can't be awesome in week 15, can't be awesome in week 18, won't be a Hall of Fame player year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of his career. But the expectation that you should have, if your favorite rookie second round pick decides to hold out of training camp, do you think, and I know I'm RJ Harvey Truther 101, JRich. You think Sean Payton is going to be back there crying himself to sleep because Harvey ain't in camp? Or is he just going to say, you know what? J.K. Dobbins, Jaleel McLaughlin, let's go. Harvey doesn't want to be here. He don't want to be a part of the program. Let's go.
What's funny about J.K. Dobbins in particular, Ray, is I don't know the exact timeline, but I'm willing to bet that J.K. Dobbins signed after the Jaden Higgins contract was already signed. And so there could have been rumblings that there could be a potential holdout situation, right? So Sean Payton went out and signed J.K. Dobbins and said, look, you're slated right now to work in tandem with RJ Harvey, but should something happen, should he hold out, should he not be available for training camp, guess what, JK? You have every shot to be our starting running back to start this season.
Rubio just nailed it. Again, I'm not saying that Luther Burden won't be great down the line, right? But Rubio just said it. Mike Tomlin said it's hard to jump on a moving train. And again, we're talking about Trey Harris here, okay? We're not talking about Jamar Chase. We're not talking about a Jalen Waddle level of play. We're talking about Trey Harris, okay? What's going to happen is the veterans that know what the hell to do, they're just going to be on the field. You're going to look out there week 1, and you got Trey Harris as your wide receiver 3, and it's Quentin Johnson out there. It's him and Mike Williams and Ladd McConkey. And you're like, damn, you know?
Well, let's not forget, Ray, in probably 2 weeks to the day, maybe 2 weeks tomorrow, Trey Harris is supposed to be on the field.
Playing
in the Hall of Fame game.
2 weeks.
And he's probably not going to be there.
All I want people to do in this chat, man, I just want you to be aware. Just pay attention. Just look yourself. Like when you get done with the show, go look at different teams. Let me go dig into this second round thing. And then you'll start looking like, damn, Ratledge isn't there, which affects Detroit's offensive front. Jonas 7-9 is not there. Like these guys are not there. This is a big story, JRich. It's a very big story. And for us, for fantasy football, you don't have 18 weeks, right? Dynasty, you got years, baby. I don't give a shit. Hendo, get your bag, baby. If you don't score me points this year, I got you for your whole career. But for this season, 2025, the way people are drafting these rookies and the expectation that we have for some of these second rounders out the gate, very big deal and a very big moment in NFL because it has not been done. We just assumed all these guys would be in camp because they're always in. Who doesn't go to training camp unless you're like Antonio Brown, right? Unless you're like a big dog veteran. Like Mark Andrews sits out, nobody, Travis Kelce, I ain't got to go to training camp. Mahomes, Jack Besh? You think Chip Kelly's worried about Jack Besh not being there?
Nah, I doubt it.
Next man up. Come on, man. Like, come on.
Deontay Thornton, step up to the line. You're good.
We love them. That's why we love that tantalizing speed. They're just not losing sleep over those cats, man. So, interesting story. We want to start with that, Jay. Let's hit the break. Let's hit the break real quick. And then we come back. We got top 10 receivers as voted on by the execs. We got money problems happening in Washington. Got bags being given out in New York City. So let's talk about it, man, after the break, man. Let's go. Welcome in, everybody, for another stream over here on Bleacher Report, NFL Daily. You can find JRich and I every single week here on this app.
The moment I say it, they'll say, oh, yuck. And it's got to be Najee Harris, right? It's
That world is in an alternate timeline somewhere in the multiverse. It ain't here on Earth 616 or whatever. It ain't here. JRich and I are on every single Thursday, 7 p.m. Appreciate y'all being in the building. Wake up with Ray and Jay every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking all things sports. NFL training camp is right around the corner, and you can find us on Bleacher Report on Thursdays right now over the summer, but the content, once the season starts over on BR, we'll flip-flop a little bit, and we'll let y'all know. Hit that thumbs up button, like the stream, like the content. Yes, Garrison, hit that like button, please. Appreciate you all. A lot of chatter in the chat about, the power and how important training camp is. Again, I'll just tie a bow on it saying you can miss voluntary OTAs, you can miss passing sessions, you cannot be available for rookie minicamp. By the time training camp rolls around, there are no ifs, ands, or buts. Your rookie ass needs to be there. Your rookie ass needs to be in training camp. If you're not there, you're behind the 8 ball, Jay. A couple of players who are no longer behind the 8 ball at all, and their teams went ahead and gave them the bag. The Jets handed out a lot of money yesterday. Garrett Wilson signed. Extended. What was that Garrett Wilson deal?
Garrett Wilson's contract is an AAV, average annual value, of $32.5 million, 4 years, $130 million, $90 million in total guarantees.
Wow.
Love this contract for the New York Jets. Absolutely love it. Signed for the next 6 seasons. People look to his AAV at $32.5 million and say, wow, that's top 5 in the NFL money. But let's not forget, he's not going to hit that contract for another 2 years.
2 years.
And Ray, guess who's going to be getting rookie extensions after 2 more seasons? Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, Ladd McConkey, and every single wide receiver that was great from the 2024 class. So to get Garrett Wilson, and by the time that money actually hits, probably, I don't know, maybe outside the top 10, I think it's great value for the Jets.
Great
probably
value.
One of the best contracts they've got in a while. Sounds like a lot, but it's actually a very, very good extension for Garrett Wilson.
And right now he's paid like the 5th highest paid receiver annual value in the NFL. It's Garrett Wilson, it's DK Metcalf, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and then Jamar Chase, the only $40 million a year wide receiver in the NFL. The Jets went ahead and handed out some more money. JRich, Sauce got paid in them icy whites. Sauce Gardner. Wasn't it a similar deal that he received?
Yeah, so Sauce's deal to be now the highest paid cornerback in the NFL, $30.1 million. 4 years, 120.4 to get him up to be the highest paid, 30.5 per season, 85 million guaranteed. So not quite the 90 million Garrett Wilson got,
Right.
not quite the 130 total, but damn close. $30 million to Sauce, 32 for Garrett Wilson. Their top 2 draft picks in what would have been the 2022 NFL draft. Wow. I mean, this is great for honestly both these players, but most so for the Jets, just to add some stability to this team. Garrett Wilson wanted a new deal. Sauce wanted a new deal. People think Sauce is kind of washed, but I was seeing some numbers from him recently.
Travis Hunter needs to be looking at this. Travis
damn
Hunter
good.
needs to see what Sauce got, and then needs to see what G-Dub got.
You don't got to look to these guys. He has much higher aspirations. I'd be talking to Jamar Chase and Myles Garrett and see, hey man, what do we do about this? What do we do about this? But yeah, no, Sauce is great for this team. Obviously, they're not paying a lot to the quarterback position. They have a lot of holes to fill, but this is 2 massive staples on offense and defense to get signed, and both great signings. Sauce to be highest paid is a lot, but I think he can
That's
earn
the
it.
market, right? Next up is going to be Trent McDuffie. It'd be McDuffie who's looking to top that. It'd be Trent
Think the Chiefs will
McDuffie
pay
for-
it? They probably won't. They probably won't pay it. Probably don't have the money to pay it.
Probably have to.
Well, because we didn't even talk about the Trey Smith extension. He's the highest paid guard
Trey
now,
Smith.
right?
Yeah, Trey Smith, highest paid contract for a guard in NFL history, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he got, I think, 90 million
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Trey Smith. They
23
had to
and a
lock
half.
him up. They had to lock it. They couldn't have him holding out. That the team said we don't want him holding out, right? You damn second rounder, whoever you were, don't give a damn.
Yeah.
You want to hold out, hold out. But Trey Smith, let's get you in
Trey
the building.
Smith, 6th rounder, 4 years, 94 million, 70 million guaranteed, $1.5 million higher than Landon Dickerson as the highest paid guard in NFL history.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trey Smith, that's what I thought.
Crazy.
Highest paid in NFL history. JRich, unfortunately, not everybody. It's roses for everybody, okay? There was some more clarity that came out around Jauan Jennings and his contractual asks. Jauan Jennings scheduled to make $7.5 million this year. That is, that is lower than some very lowly wide receivers out there. For a player that the San Francisco 49ers want to use and deploy as their wide receiver 1, Jennings said, hold up, baby. I need to get paid or y'all need to move me. The reports have come out that Jennings wants money in the Jerry Jeudy range, which is about $17.5 million. He wants a $10 million pay bump. JRich, do you think San Francisco does it?
Nope, and I wouldn't do it if I were them either. He wants to be paid like a receiver that got paid at 23 or 24, and he's 28. So no, I would not be making a deal similar to that. Jerry Jeudy's contract, 3 years, $52.5 million, $41 million guaranteed at signing. No, I'm not giving that to Jauan Jennings. There's just no way. But maybe he thinks he deserves it. Maybe he thinks he earned it. But I'm telling you, Jauan, you got to have a better season than that if you're going to get a contract even of Jerry Jeudy's stature. He had a good season, but if I'm the Niners, I'm calling his bluff. I'm trading him. I'm just not going to play him. I just don't see the reason. I don't think they're that down bad. He's a good player, but not deserving of more than I think he's receiving right now. He had one good season and trying to capitalize on that, which I get, but I wouldn't blink if I was the Niners. I think they'll be okay.
Got some 49ers beat reporters saying, this is from at coach_yak on X. I don't think he's going to be traded. Maybe there will be incentives added to his contract for 2025, but I would be surprised if this ended up with Jauan Jennings getting some sort of blockbuster deal from the 49ers. Then there's another one. While no deal is imminent, the Niners are steadfast that Jennings will play for San Francisco in 2025, meaning trading him is not an option. I think he's very important for this offense. What he helps do on the ground and in the receiving game. Ricky Pearsall, excited for a second year, but you don't want to depend on a second-year wide receiver to be your guy, your primary. Brandon Ayuk, reports he could be ready, maybe not all the way ready to start the season. They really need to keep Jauan Jennings in the building. And I think for Jennings and his best chance for a high range of outcome, he needs to stay in San Francisco. I just don't think there's a spot where he can go and he's going to assume
be just as good, yeah.
Yeah, like he needs to stay in San Francisco. And JRich, this is one that we reported right when the rumor mill started. This was a month ago. I remember being on the show and the rumor started and we brought it up and kind of moved on from it. But now it seems like it's getting kind of serious. Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders are not in a good space. He publicly talked about his displeasure, the fact that he's disappointed. And this is Terry McLaurin's, if they don't want me, let me know. Like I'm shocked we got here. There are a lot of people who cover this team who are equally surprised that it has lasted this far with Terry McLaurin's contract situation. I'm not sure when the Commanders report, but everybody's reporting over the next 10 days, let's say. So training camp is about to start for the Washington Commanders. Everybody's excited about second-year quarterback Jaden Daniels. Are you still on the fence and the side, especially now that the comments are public that this gets done and Terry McLaurin is a Washington Commander in 2025? It's starting to get nasty.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to get to the point where we have to wonder, like, is this really going to be okay? And especially if you feel like you need to have Terry in Washington, because...
Well, they should feel like that, right? Like, they should feel like they need to have him there.
Well, they should feel that way, absolutely. But clearly, there's some dissemination as to whether or not they should pay him. I'm sure it's arguments over guaranteed money, potentially length of contract, which we've all talked about. Terry is an older receiver, so I'm sure they're looking to probably spend around 2 years guaranteed. He's probably asking for 3. Maybe they settle on 2.5. But I think the reality is there are teams that would be willing to pay Terry McLaurin. The question is are the Washington Commanders going to be the team that ultimately pays him and keeps him under contract in Washington, or is he going to go somewhere else? And then if that happens, Ray, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like Terry can still be a similarly valued and produce at the same level on another team potentially? And what kind of risk does that weigh you when you're looking at maybe drafting him in some of your fantasy leagues?
I mean, how many times do especially skill position players like switch teams like this late and abruptly? Had this happen in like February and they're like, we're trading Terry McLaurin to name a team, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, I don't care. Like, I feel fine because he's been there the whole damn time. He's been in the offseason program.
For the whole install, everything.
Like now, I wouldn't want that to I don't think it's going to happen, right? I don't know. I don't know enough about this Commanders front office. You would think that they're all pro receiver. They're like the same stuff that we're talking about. Joe in the chat, Jaden can't have it. You don't think they're having these conversations, and yet the dollars and cents still aren't there. You know, I don't think they trade him. I want to say they get it done, but.
Well, it's funny because we're talking about Jauan Jennings in San Francisco, and now you have a situation where we're dealing with Adam Peters in Washington, formerly of San Francisco. So it's similar mindset, right? Do we feel like Terry's worth that value at this time? They obviously traded for Debo, but they're paying for that 1-year contract. There's no money tied to him beyond that. But we'll see. It definitely is looking a little fishy with McLaurin. I think we just need that.
Said the Pats will ACH that full guaranteed right now. Just automatic.
Damn right they will.
Wire it over. Here you go, Terry. Come on over.
If you think Vrabel's not on the phone trying to get McLaurin to New England right now,
okay, that'd be a spot.
But he wouldn't be the only one, right? Like no. we've heard reports of Vegas being a team that's interested in McLaurin as well. And imagine like how good Geno Smith would be if he's got Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, and Terry McLaurin. Like, say what you want about what you think Terry could be for the entire season, because he probably starts a little slow, gets acclimated to the offense, but with Ashton Genty, and depending on how that offensive line holds up this season, that's a damn good offense, especially at the skill position spots.
Well, maybe what ends up happening, Jay, is just like when Myles Garrett, all the public rumors started to come out about Garrett, and then they got a deal done, right? Maybe Terry McLaurin opening his mouth publicly will influence or help guide the Commanders to giving him the type of money that he wants. I wonder what he wants. Probably wants like 30. He probably wants that IU. He probably wants $30 million a year. You paying 30-year-old Terry?
32.
He probably wants $30 million a year. You paying 30-year-old Terry? Terry McLaurin turns 30 in September. You paying 30-year-old Terry McLaurin 30 a year?
Well, I think the other side that needs to be mentioned is like the Washington cap situation is actually pretty good.
Yeah, they've got. Everyone keeps saying it. They've got the money.
They've spent a lot of money. They have $21 million available right now in cap space, which if they sign him to a new deal, the cap hit from the first season is going to be basically nothing anyways. But going into even 2026, they have $78 million available, 6th most in the NFL. Number 1, Ray, by the way. I didn't want to mention this because I know you don't like me talking about them, but the Chargers are actually 1st in cap space going into next season. But yeah, Washington has a lot of cap space. But yeah, Vegas, Pittsburgh has $87 million going into next year. Even the Rams have a ton of cap space. So there's lots of teams that could make a move like this for Terry. But it is similar to
the league. FFB, shout out to the league FFB in the chat, said this is eerily similar to Ayuk, in my opinion.
So the only thing with that is that I think they do actually want him, right? They just don't want to necessarily pay him.
Let me stop you right here. I hear you. I'm gonna let. I don't give a shit what if they actually wanted him, they would pay him. Like there's no why we actually want you, but we don't want to.
But Terry's never been on the trade block. He wasn't almost traded to Pittsburgh. He wasn't hanging out with his former quarterback.
Your job loves you too until you go in there and ask for that raise. So you go ask for that raise.
But it's not that bad. I don't think it's because honestly, the fact they signed Ayuk was shocking because it didn't seem like they wanted Ayuk at all.
It's bad
for
enough.
him, yeah.
It's bad enough. Like, yeah, I want you at the cost that I want you. Yes. Yeah. I want you at $27 million. I don't want you at $31 million. I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day, JRich. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me how much you love me, show me. Don't tell me how much you like me,
I
show
understand
me.
that.
Pay me. So they don't like him enough. Right now, they don't like him enough.
It's Peters, right? And that's when you compare the situations, it's the same thing with San Francisco. They want their number, Terry wants his number, and both parties are unwilling to move. And this happens in San Francisco a lot, right? And now it seems like it's happening a bit in Washington as well.
Here's the thing, Joe. Joe said, I don't understand the hold up. The only thing that matters is giving JD5 everything possible to win right now. That's what we think. That's what we think. But there's a whole nother. There's like the football field side of the NFL, and then there's the business side of it. And there's somebody crunching numbers saying, nah. And maybe, Jay, they went out and they got Debo. They went out and they've roster constructed to absorb.
Are they roster constructing?
To absorb McLaurin not being there. It's just, I don't know, man.
I mean, the crazy thing is McLaurin's already their second highest paid player right now. He's got a $25.5 million cap hit. What is giving him a $5 million raise going to do to your cap? Like, literally nothing.
I say the same thing when I go ask for that
crazy,
3% raise and getting haggled down to 2%. You know, what's this 1% that you're paying me going to do for the organization's bottom line? But it's a damn battle. And when you think about it, Jay, normally at that level of negotiation, they're not negotiating over, there's not like a $20 million delta, right? They're negotiating over that 1-2%. They are haggling over that $500,000. Over that 1.1 million. They are haggling over this.
It could be like $10 million guaranteed though.
Sure.
Because
I'm sure he wants his money guaranteed up front. Yes.
It could be a decent amount of guarantees that they're haggling over. Right? Because if it's a $30 million contract and they're haggling over a half season, that's $15 million guaranteed, which would not shock me if they're haggling over that. Because I'm sure he wants a decent amount guaranteed, and they're probably like, well, we'll guarantee you $50 million. Right? But we'll see.
All right, Jay. Going through the chat, there are a lot of comments today in the chat. I just want to hit a couple of these before we get out of here. Owners, Fredo said it's giving Boston Red Sox vibes, JRich. Fredo said
10 straight. The Red Sox are back up, baby.
Said it's giving Red Sox vibes out here. A lot of people are just saying it doesn't make sense. If Washington has the money, why not pay him? I don't know. I honestly, I don't.
When you have a rookie quarterback, probably should sign his top receiver. That's like NFL business 101, it feels like. That's what the Eagles did. And how'd that work out for the Eagles, Ray?
I just say this, man. Johnny, I hear you. Johnny says, pay the long-standing good person, great football player. I don't think they give a shit about how good the person is or not. Like, I really don't. Like the business element, you'd be as good a person as it is until you ask for too many zeros. To the figure is a little too high. Then that good person, good football player kind of, well, you're not that good of a person. You know, you're a good person, JRich, but you ain't that good.
You ain't that good.
You ain't that good to add another comma, to add another zero. So, yeah, man, I'm very curious to see how all of this stuff is going to play out. The big thing that we want y'all to do as you take this show away and as you roll into your weekend, the rest of your week, pay attention. Pay attention to this rookie second round thing. See where players are going. Because I still see Luther Burden getting drafted ahead of players. I'm like, wow. Like, first of all,
let's not forget, Ray, soft tissue injury.
Soft tissue injury. You think Luther Burden's taking that haircut? Luther Burden wants all that money. Garrett, I don't know Luther, but if me and Luther had a chance to chat, Luther ain't taking nothing less than guaranteed.
You think Jaden Higgins deserves a guaranteed contract before me?
Before me?
No way.
Luther Burden? Hell nah. He wants his money guaranteed, so he ain't finna be there. Luther Burden's hurt. Ben Johnson's already called him out about 6 times, and he ain't under contract. They are moving on with you know who, JRich? You know who's never being drafted that people think? Olamide Zaccheaus. That's who's going to be the third receiver.
You couldn't say DJ Moore, right? It's just against your contractual obligations.
He's starting. You think I'm that damn dumb? DJ Moore's a starting receiver. It's him, it's Romo Dunze, and it's Olamide Zaccheaus who will be on the field for the Chicago Bears since Luther Burden doesn't want to sign. Since he doesn't want to sign, doesn't want to come, he's hurt. It's going to be damn Luther Burden. I mean, what's his name? Zaccheaus. Hit the music.
Olamide Zaccheaus.
Hit the music. Johnny said, give JRich the keys for the Friday show. Bring on Ty. That would have been great, but he's already made plans to leave and not be available. So,
hey, I'm coming to see you.
Wait, hit the music. Wait, undo the music. Because we got to let the people know what's going down next week. Because next week, JRich, you are gone, right? You are out all week.
Yeah, I'm coming. Well, I'm coming to see you and the boys.
You are coming to see me. You are coming to see me. You are coming to see me. You're coming down to Dallas, man. That's what's up. Yeah. So we're going to get the chance to get together, but you will not be on the show, is what I'm saying.
No, so, don't get on Ray for his thumbnails, people. They may be a little questionable, but I'm going to show him the ropes, make sure he's good. And then because this was such a good show, and I appreciate everyone for tuning in, I do need some assistance because I am not a parent. Your kids are, 8 and 6, right?
8 and almost 6.
I don't know what to get kids. We did the whole conversation about how much Ray G thinks minimum wage is, and the people were on your ass for that, Ray. You're not really so tapped in with the people. But I need some gift ideas. I was thinking big dumper tees.
Shout out to the big dumper, man.
But I don't know sizes. But I need some ideas for kids because I gotta get your kids something.
I don't know the sizes. I gotta ask my wife. Hey, what size shirt do they? What size pants? I don't know. They're mine, JRich, and I don't know the sizes. But no doubt, JRich will be off next week. It'll be me flying solo. But here's the thing: we got camp, baby. We got camp, clip season, camp hype. So I will be on Monday. I will be on Wednesday. I will be on Friday. Waking up, having a damn good time with the people. JRich will somehow be in the chat, but he won't be on the show. So you enjoy your break, my friend. We appreciate each and every eye, each and every ear. Whether you're watching live, whether you're listening on the replay, hit the thumbs up button, like the content. Now you can hit the music, JRich. And I want you to close it out and tell the people to enjoy since they won't see your beautiful mug for a little bit.
I'm sure you guys will miss me, and I'm sure some of you won't at all. But Ray does a great job on his solo shows, and I'm sure the camp news will be flying. He'll have clips, he'll have highlights, he'll have excitement, and most importantly, he will bring you that real talk and honesty about all of your favorite players. But thank you guys for tapping in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the content, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. But tune in next week for a solo Wake Up with Ray G.
We out, baby. Good stuff, JRich. Enjoy. Appreciate everybody in the building. Have a great rest of the week. Check out the content on the channel, man. Jordan Tyson is up right now. Dope wide receiver. We've got the Dynasty Deal Show on the DDFFB channel, and Shane Manila dropped some content this morning. So appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all on Monday. We out. And what's that dude's name? Fritzy, whatever your name is. I'll be in San Antonio, SmackDown, man. Come see me on Friday. We out. Peace.